MC Lee Hyun-seok narrates his 20-year journey in another world, ready to save it by defeating the monster. A massive explosion erupts, showing the sheer power of our guy's attack. The winged Monster King, looking like a beefed-up gargoyle, acknowledges Lee Hyun-seok's resilience after the blast. The Monster King gloats, pointing out that Lee Hyun-seok's squad, the Saintess, Mage, and Knight, are barely holding on. Lee Hyun-seok, our main man, stares down the Monster King, hitting him with a confident comeback. The Monster King, clearly triggered by Lee Hyun-seok's sass, charges up a purple energy attack. Lee Hyun-seok grips his spear, eyes locked on the monster, ready to keep this wild fight going. Our guy Lee Hyun-seok goes all in, clashing hard with the Monster King in a flurry of blows. The Monster King, still powered up, threatens to tear Lee Hyun-seok to pieces, flexing his kingdom forged by claws. The Monster King unleashes a devastating purple energy attack, slamming it right into Lee Hyun-seok. Lee Hyun-seok, our dude, looks intensely focused, shaking off that last hit from the Monster King. Lee Hyun-seok is engulfed in the Monster King's purple energy, taking a direct hit like a champ. Lee Hyun-seok emerges, blazing with fire, declaring he's about to finish this whole damn thing. Hype! Our guy Lee Hyun-seok unleashes a blinding, fiery attack, putting everything he has into it. Lee Hyun-seok's ultimate move, Paradox Flame, erupts, looking like it's about to melt everything. Lee Hyun-seok continues his fiery assault, pushing the Monster King back with pure power. The Monster King takes a direct hit from Lee Hyun-seok's flame, showing some actual damage this time. Lee Hyun-seok follows up with another powerful spear strike, keeping the pressure on the Monster King. Lee Hyun-seok grunts in pain, showing this fight is still a brutal slugfest for our guy. The Monster King, the arrogant bastard, shrugs off the attack, claiming it barely left a scratch. Lee Hyun-seok's hand is shown, responding to the Monster King's taunt about his attack being soft. Lee Hyun-seok grips his spear, confidently declaring his power is enough to cut down the Monster King's arrogance. The Monster King is visibly damaged by Lee Hyun-seok's attack, surprised a woman could stand against him. Lee Hyun-seok, still battered, corrects the Monster King, reminding him he's not from this world. The Monster King looks distressed, realizing he's having trouble regenerating and is being erased. Lee Hyun-seok explains his Paradox Flame burns abstract concepts, not oxygen, revealing his unique power. Lee Hyun-seok declares his flame is burning the Monster King's very existence, ending his resurrection hobby. The Monster King is in agony, questioning if his time in this world is finally at an end. In a last-ditch effort, tries to break Lee Hyun-seok by revealing his companions are waiting for him to die. Lee Hyun-seok looks unfazed, calmly stating, "I know," confirming he's aware of the betrayal. The Saintess appears, feigning shock and denying the Monster King's words, but Lee Hyun-seok is about to spill the tea. Lee Hyun-seok exposes the Saintess's true feelings, revealing she despises him as an outsider, and her seduction was a ruse. Lee Hyun-seok continues, explaining the Saintess's plan was to make him hesitate when they came to purge him. Lee Hyun-seok confronts the Saintess directly, asking if his accusations are wrong. Lee Hyun-seok turns, stating the Knight and the Mage are also part of the betrayal. Lee exposes the Knight, revealing he was bribed by the Emperor to eliminate him after the monster's defeat. He then exposes the Mage, who hates him for opposing slavery and loves human experimentation. Lee Hyun-seok reveals he's known about their betrayal for the past 5 years, playing 4D chess this whole time. The Monster King, utterly confused, questions why Lee Hyun-seok didn't destroy the world that betrayed him. Lee Hyun-seok, with a weary expression, reveals his ultimate motivation. He just wanted to go home. The story flashes back 20 years to 2005, Earth, setting the stage for our guy's origin. Young Lee Hyun-seok, a regular 30-year-old office worker, gets summoned by a goddess to save a monster-infested world. Our boy quickly realizes this other world isn't some fantasy paradise, but a chaotic, monster-ridden disaster zone. Lee Hyun-seok discovers the only way back home is to defeat all the monsters and save this messed-up world. So, for 2 decades, our man Lee Hyun-seok grinds, training relentlessly to fight the monsters and survive. Young Lee Hyun-seok, trying to help, is immediately met with distrust from 2 guards who question his solo heroics. Our guy, still trying to be a hero, carries an injured child, demanding entry into a village. Our guy, still trying to be a hero, carries an injured child, demanding entry into a village. The hero yells at the guards, demanding that they let him in, yet he himself understands the horror of this world and its people. He witnesses medieval medicine in action as a doctor prepares to amputate a leg for a simple infection, pure horror. Lee Hyun-seok carries the child again, noting that all healers are busy with battle, leaving the wounded to suffer. Someone calls out to young Lee Hyun-seok, addressing him as Sir Hero, probably about to ask for more impossible feats. A group of priests and nuns question Lee Hyun-seok about how he rescued the child from monsters, looking suspicious. A priestess reveals the child has a demon, and they're about to exorcise it by burning people because of course they are. Lee Hyun-seok is told not to defy the gods, internally raging at this world's complete disregard for human rights. After 20 agonizing years, our guy Lee Hyun-seok finally defeats the Monster King, fulfilling his mission to save the world. Lee Hyun-seok, battered and weary, looks up with a sense of relief, thinking it's finally over. The knight, one of the betrayers, reveals his true colors, stating they can't let Lee Hyun-seok live now that he knows. Lee Hyun-seok, still injured, looks absolutely fed up, declaring his profound hatred for this treacherous world. Our guy Lee Hyun-seok, despite being severely wounded, looks determined as the knight expresses surprise at his resilience. Lee Hyun-seok, the knight and the saintess, look up as a beam of light descends from the ominous red sky. A blinding light erupts from the sky, signaling our guy's long-awaited departure from that hellhole. The goddess appears, all smiles and light, thanking Lee Hyun-seok for his arduous efforts in defeating the monster, questioning his desire to leave and warning his achievements will be void. Lee Hyun-seok reminds the goddess of her promise to send him back to Earth with his memories and soul intact. The goddess, still trying to manipulate, asks if he'll truly regret abandoning this world that no longer needs him. The hero asks the goddess to stop pretending, because she is glad that he is finally leaving. The goddess, still trying to manipulate him, asks if he really won't regret leaving this world, which no longer needs him. Lee Hyun-seok drops his spear, declaring his only desire is to return to the world he once knew, nothing else. Lee Hyun-seok looks down, reflecting on finally leaving that god-forsaken otherworld behind him. Our guy's injured hand is shown, emphasizing his relief that this treacherous world is finally in his rearview mirror. The goddess explains that Lee Hyun-seok's original body on Earth perished, so she'll place his soul into a new vessel. Lee Hyun-seok, still in his old body, questions whose body he's about to inhabit because of course there's a catch. The goddess vaguely describes a somewhat bad end for his new body, but assures him he's strong enough to survive. The goddess explains that since his original body on Earth perished, she will place his soul into a new vessel. Lee Hyun-seok wakes up in a bed on Earth in 2025, now in the body of Yoo Chan-seok, still cursing those rotten otherworld bastards. Yoo Chan-seok looks in the mirror, relieved to be away from those backstabbing otherworld traitors. Yoo Chan-seok touches his reflection, confirming his new face and identity on Earth. Yoo Chan-seok stands by the mirror, finally realizing he's truly back home on Earth. Yoo Chan-seok is overjoyed by clean tap water, throwing shade at those useless mages from the other world. Yoo Chan-seok marvels at a gas stove, celebrating instant fire and no more wood chopping. Yoo Chan-seok looks around his apartment, soaking in all the modern conveniences he desperately missed. Yoo Chan-seok stares in pure awe at a box of fried chicken, a true delicacy. Yoo Chan-seok takes a massive bite of the fried chicken, drooling from the sheer deliciousness. Yoo Chan-seok cries tears of joy while eating, declaring this is what real food tastes like. Yoo Chan-seok continues to weep, expressing his deep longing for a normal life back home. Yoo Chan-seok realizes it's 2025, noting that time passed normally on Earth while he was gone. Yoo Chan-seok reflects that adjusting to Earth can't be worse than the hellish otherworld. Yoo Chan-seok enjoys a hot shower, appreciating the simple luxury of instant warm water. Yoo Chan-seok observes an air conditioner, amazed by cold air at the push of a button. Yoo Chan-seok looks out at the clear sky, contrasting it with the nasty otherworld. Yoo Chan-seok, looking relaxed, considers playing StarCraft, but a shadowy monster appears behind him. Yoo Chan-seok screams in terror as the monstrous figure lunges at him, shattering his peace. Yoo Chan-seok looks horrified as an announcement about a corrosion rift plays. Yoo Chan-seok reacts with confusion and alarm to the corrosion rift announcement in his building. Yoo Chan-seok is urged to evacuate to an underground shelter as the urgent announcement repeats. Yoo Chan-seok is surrounded by multiple masked, ape-like monsters in a red-lit hallway. Yoo Chan-seok runs frantically, trying to escape the horde of creepy monsters. Yoo Chan-seok looks back in sheer panic, questioning what these terrifying creatures are. The masked monsters chase Yoo Chan-seok, their unsettling faces fixed on him. Yoo Chan-seok runs down the stairs, utterly bewildered by the sudden monster invasion on Earth. Yu Chan-seok climbs out of a broken window, desperately trying to escape the monster horde. Yu Chan-seok peeks around a corner, relieved he finally lost those creepy ape things. Yu Chan-seok spots a small kid running down the hallway, looking completely out of place. Yu Chan-seok warns the kid about the danger, but the little dude just asks where the monster went. The kid boldly declares he's going to kill the monster, then asks Yu Chan-seok if he wants to join. This kid has no fear. Yu Chan-seok is utterly shocked by the kid's insane declaration. Yu Chan-seok narrates that Earth has been like this for 13 years, and he's now stuck with this fearless kid. The kid, still curious, questions Yu Chan-seok about corrosion rifts. Yu Chan-seok confirms that corrosion rifts are monster exits with unknown origins, while a terrifying monster image appears. Yu Chan-seok rages, realizing he escaped one hellhole only to find Earth is another, cursing the goddess for this bait and switch. The kid asks why Yu Chan-seok knows nothing, and our guy quickly makes up a story about living in America. The kid questions Yu Chan-seok's flimsy excuse, mentioning a US president's impeachment, leaving our guy completely flustered. The kid changes the subject, asking Yu Chan-seok about his favorite hunter, Lee Se-yoon. The kid explains Lee Se-yoon is a top-ranked hunter fighting a corrosion rift, while Yu Chan-seok is internally relieved by the distraction. Yu Chan-seok questions how normal humans are fighting monsters on Earth, just like the other world he barely escaped. The kid praises Lee Se-yoon's greatsword, and Yu Chan-seok quickly covers his mouth to silence him. Yu Chan-seok holds the kid's mouth shut, looking panicked as he senses something. Yu Chan-seok spots multiple masked monsters in the hallway, realizing they're surrounded again. Yu Chan-seok counts 6 monsters, including a hidden one, proving his battle instincts are still sharp. Yu Chan-seok notes his new body has above-average strength and he's used to fighting multiple enemies, but there's a catch. Yu Chan-seok worries about the crying kid, realizing he can't just leave him alone to die. Yu Chan-seok frets about not having a proper weapon to fight the monsters, a classic hero problem. Yu Chan-seok notices mana in the air, glowing blue around the monsters, a familiar sight from his past. Yu Chan-seok confirms the mana is the same as the other world, hinting that his powers are about to make a comeback. One of the masked monsters looks utterly shocked, likely sensing Yu Chan-seok's awakening power. Yu Chan-seok unleashes his black flame, incinerating one of the masked ape monsters with a swift attack. Yu Chan-seok explains that while his stored mana is gone, ambient mana lets him use his soul-engraved paradox flame. Yu Chan-seok smirks, noting his current firepower is weak but still enough to handle these earth monsters. The masked monster is engulfed in black flames, completely destroyed, as Yoon-seong looks on in awe. Yoon-seong praises Yu Chan-seok's unique skill, while our guy internally notes the new Earth terminology. Yoon-seong, remembering YouTube advice, runs to confirm the kill, making Yu Chan-seok panic about the lingering flames. Yu Chan-seok's eyes widen, realizing the paradox flame's residual energy could still be dangerous to the kid. Yu Chan-seok warns Yoon-seong not to approach the regenerating monster, which is still alive and lunging. Yoon-seong looks terrified as the monster lunges, but Yu Chan-seok quickly steps in front of him. Yu Chan-seok grabs the monster's bleeding arm, telling Yoon-seong to stop watching questionable YouTube videos. Yu Chan-seok, still holding the monster, asks Yoon-seong to hand over the staff he's carrying. Yoon-seong looks surprised but seems ready to give Yu Chan-seok the staff. Yu Chan-seok, now armed with the staff, prepares to face the remaining masked monsters while protecting Yoon-seong. Yu Chan-seok swings the staff with force, delivering a powerful blow to one of the masked monsters. Yu Chan-seok, breathing heavily, stands over the defeated monsters as Yoon-seong asks if he's a secret hunter. Yu Chan-seok internally rages, lamenting that he's still smelling blood and fighting monsters even after returning to Earth. A crowd of people gathers in an underground shelter, looking anxious and murmuring amongst themselves. Yu Chan-seok and Yoon-seong enter the shelter, with the kid correcting our guy about calling elementary schoolers little brats. Yoon-seong's mom, a well-dressed woman, spots her son and rushes towards him, looking relieved and worried. Yoon-seong's mom thanks Yu Chan-seok for bringing her son, while Yoon-seong tries to pull away from her. Yu Chan-seok observes the mom's expensive attire, realizing Yoon-seong is a rich young master, which explains his fearlessness. A massive, shadowy monster's fist smashes through the shelter wall, causing immediate panic and destruction. The monster crashes into the shelter, sending people flying and causing absolute pandemonium. The monster screams with a monstrous shriek, baring its sharp teeth. People start panicking, shouting that the wall has been destroyed and they are in danger. Yoon-seong frantically tells Yu Chan-seok they need to run from the massive monster. Yu Chan-seok looks down, reflecting on his simple wish to return to his own world. Yu Chansuk clutches his chest, lamenting his deep longing for his missed home. Yu Chansuk stares at his scarred hand, questioning if his desire for peace was too much. Yu Chansuk calls Yun Song a brat, and the kid immediately snaps back, correcting him. Yu Chansuk questions why rich kid Yun Seong wants to be a hunter instead of hiding safely. Yun Seong reveals his dad died in a safe bunker, realizing no place on Earth is truly secure. Yun Seong declares his ambition to become the strongest hunter and eliminate all corrosion rifts. Yun Seong passionately looks up at Yu Chansuk, proclaiming his dream to save the world. Yu Chansuk smiles, telling Yun Seong he will become a great hunter. Yu Chansuk adds that Yun Seong won't be the one to save the world, as he walks away with the mom. Yun Seong's mom tries to lead him away, but the kid insists on staying with Yu Chansuk. Yun Seong's eyes widen, processing Yu Chansuk's words with a determined gaze. Yu Chansuk, now glowing with purple energy, declares he will save the world. Yu Chansuk smirks, stating that saving the world is a job for someone who's done it before. Our guy narrates his 20-year ordeal in another world, only to face a corrosion rift immediately upon returning to Earth. Yu Chansuk narrates surviving using his past experience and promising the kid he'd save the world. Yu Chansuk is shown gaming, narrating that he did absolutely nothing despite his grand promise. Our guy celebrates an easy game win, completely engrossed in Earth's simple pleasures. Yu Chansuk narrates his initial confidence about saving the world again, but his desire quickly vanished. Yu Chansuk enjoys games, abundant food, and modern tech, things he only dreamed of in the other world. Yu Chansuk considers ordering delivery, thinking other hunters can handle world-saving duties. Yu Chansuk discovers he's broke, realizing the original body's owner lost his job due to a corrosion rift. Yu Chansuk, at his computer, narrates his struggle to find a normal job. Our guy realizes companies aren't hiring due to constant corrosion rifts, leaving him jobless and frustrated. Yu Chansuk stares at his phone, seeing a hunter recruitment ad, probably thinking about his empty wallet. We get an overhead shot of the Hunter Association building, where our guy is about to make his grand entrance. A new guy gets hyped about becoming a hunter, but another candidate quickly shuts him down, calling it just a selection test. Two dudes chat about how the selection test is a joke, just a formality if you have a unique skill. One of the smug candidates looks down on everyone else, calling them a bunch of small fries. A mysterious long-haired woman from behind wonders if they'll get too famous, already thinking about the spotlight. The smug candidate from before claims this batch is the best, still looking like he's better than everyone. Lee Si-yoon, the 10th-ranked hunter from Janabi Guild, makes a grand entrance looking like a total boss. Other applicants freak out, realizing the top-tier hunter Lee Se-yoon is here, wondering who she's scouting. A screen shows Han Sang-ah, a Hunter Academy graduate with electrokinesis and swordsman skills, as a potential recruit. Lee Si-yoon sasses about Han Sang-ah's electrokinesis, while her male companion reminds her she's a hunter, not a battery charger. The male companion thinks Han Sang-ah is skilled, but Lee Se-yoon, the veteran, remains unimpressed. A new guy with spiky hair and glasses dramatically declares that hunting in corrosion rifts is real combat. Spiky-haired guy explains academy training doesn't prepare you for real fights, and Lee Si-yoon gives him praise candy with a smirk. The spiky-haired guy emphasizes the brutal reality of combat, showing terrified academy students facing a monster. Lee Si-yoon, in the stands, questions her week-long absence as the announcer hypes up the first match. Lee Si-yoon smiles, ready to do her job, challenging candidates to prove their worth if they want her attention. A commentator notes an interesting candidate, a civilian not from the Hunter Academy. The commentator is shocked by this unprecedented situation as our guy Lee grips a staff. The commentator questions the civilian candidate's audacity to stand on this stage as our boy Lee appears. The announcer introduces candidate Yu Chan-seok, and our guy Lee Hyun-seok internally admits he's still not used to his new name. The rules are laid out. No personal weapons, no killing, as our guy and his opponent face off with association-provided gear. Our guy Lee looks serious, thinking his first job as a hunter is to save this world. Lee also plans to live and eat well, while his smug opponent finds his ambition unbelievable. Lee decides he needs good results in this tournament, as the announcer tells both candidates to get into position. The announcer screams, "Fight!" as Lee Hyun and the cocky Spearmaster charge, with the Spearmaster already trash-talking about Lee Hyun-seok's mana. Lee Hyun maintains a calm gaze as the Spearmaster condescendingly tells him to be honored to lose. The Spearmaster, still full of himself, lunges with a fiery spear, boasting about being the undefeated Academy Spearmaster. Lee effortlessly dodges the Spearmaster's attack, his expression unbothered. The Spearmaster looks utterly bewildered as Lee's spear mysteriously vanishes from his hand. The Spearmaster's eyes dart around in confusion, wondering where Lee could have possibly gone. Lee suddenly appears behind the Spearmaster, casually roasting him for being clumsy with his spear. Lee delivers a brutal punch to the Spearmaster's gut, sending him flying across the arena. Our guy Lee follows up with another devastating punch, connecting squarely with the Spearmaster's face. The Spearmaster's face contorts in pure agony and shock as he's sent reeling from hero unexpected power. Lee stands over the defeated Spearmaster, internally noting he went easy by using bare hands. Hero looks genuinely surprised by his opponent's weakness, questioning if this is the average for Earth's hunters. Lee Se-yoon, the 10th-ranked hunter, observes Lee's performance with a curious expression. The spiky-haired scout and his female companion discuss Lee's civilian background and his almost non-existent mana. The spiky-haired scout speculates that Hyun-seok's victory was just dumb luck given his low mana. Lee Se-yoon's male companion hands the spiky-haired scout a piece of candy, a clear signal to zip it. The female companion of the spiky-haired scout realizes Lee Hyun-seok is intentionally suppressing his mana, looking utterly shocked. Hero scratches his head, deciding he needs to finish this fight decisively to truly prove his abilities. Lee stands over the Spearmaster, who is now on the ground, completely bewildered by his swift defeat. Lee prepares to deliver a final, non-lethal blow, assuring the Spearmaster it won't be fatal. The Spearmaster's face screams pure disbelief and agony, completely flabbergasted by our guy's power. The Spearmaster lies defeated on the ground, clearly knocked out cold by Lee Hyun-seok's casual beatdown. The announcer declares candidate Yoo Chan-seok the winner, leaving the two suit-wearing guys utterly shocked. The three suit-wearing guys in the stands are all wide-eyed and chattering, stunned by our boy's unexpected victory. Lee Se-yoon, the 10th-ranked hunter, smirks, deciding she needs to make her move to see our guy's real skills. Lee Se-yoon walks off with a determined look, telling someone she needs to go see the association president. Our guy Lee Hyun-seok easily claps another opponent, internally wondering why these rookies are so incredibly weak. Lee Hyun-seok continues to dominate, noting that all the opponents are pretty much the same level of unimpressive. Our guy Lee Hyun-seok sends another chump flying, questioning what kind of training they even get at this academy. Lee looks completely bored, wondering if there's a single decent hunter among this entire batch. The suit-wearing guys are now hyped, commenting on a pretty candidate and eager for the next match. The announcer introduces candidate Han Sang-ah for the grand finale, a katana-wielding woman ready to fight. Our guy Lee Hyun-seok looks at Han Sang-ah, acknowledging that she's at least... Lee Hyun-seok finishes his thought, noting Han Sang-ah has gathered the most mana he's seen from anyone today. Han Sang-ah, the new challenger, immediately starts talking smack, dismissing our guy's previous wins as pure luck. Han Sang-ah grips her katana, assuming Lee Hyun-seok has no unique skill since he's just throwing punches. She eyes glow with electricity, declaring she won't go easy on him despite his perceived lack of power. Our boy Lee Hyun-seok internally admits he has a unique skill, but is holding back to avoid seriously hurting her, the absolute menace. She charges forward, crackling with electricity, as the announcer screams, "Fight!" Han Sang-ah lunges with her electrified katana, aiming a powerful, lightning-fast strike at Lee Hyun-seok. Han Sang-ah lunges with her electrified katana, but Lee Hyun-seok effortlessly dodges by jumping over her attack. Girl looks utterly flabbergasted, questioning how our guy dodged her lightning-fast railgun-style attack. Lee Hyun-seok, mid-air, internally analyzes Han Sang-ah's magnetic railgun technique, finding it interesting. Lee lands, telling Han Sang-ah her skills are good, but she missed the most crucial part of combat. Han Sang-ah asks what, and Lee Hyun-seok explains she was too focused on speed, not the timing of her attack. Our guy internally reveals Han Sang-ah's mistake was creating a visible magnetic rail in the air for her sword. He smirks, wondering who would be dumb enough to take an attack with such an obvious, telegraphed path. Han Sang-ah glares, telling Lee Hyun-seok not to get cocky after his condescending analysis. She charges again, unleashing more electricity and declaring she can beat him without her special technique. Lee Hyun-seok easily dodges, internally calling her an idiot for thinking he'd get hit by a slower, more predictable attack. Girl looks enraged, gathering even more electricity around her hands, clearly powering up for another strike. Han Sang-ga unleashes a wide-area electrical attack, trying to overwhelm Lee Hyun-seok with sheer force. Lee Hyun-seok observes Han Sang-ga overdoing it, internally noting she's forcing her body to scrape together mana. Lee Hyun-seok appears close to Han Sang-ga, telling her the cool display was enough and they should stop. Hero, with a confident smirk, tells Han Sang-ga to raise her left hand if she's in pain. Lee Hyun-seok grabs Han Sang-ga from behind, putting her in a submission hold, effectively ending the fight. She face contorts in pure agony and shock, drooling from the unexpected brutal hold. Lee Hyun-seok delivers a powerful knee strike to Han Sang-ga's back, sending her flying across the arena. Lee Hyun-seok follows up with a devastating kick, sending Han Sang-ga further across the stage. Han Sang-ga is sent crashing onto the ground, completely defeated by our guy's casual beatdown. The three suit-wearing guys are absolutely flabbergasted, realizing our guy Lee just clapped the academy's top student. Lee looks at the defeated Han Sang-ga, internally noting she was all mana and no muscle, a classic rookie mistake. Our guy looks at Han Sang-ga, wondering if this chump is actually asking for more after that beatdown. The spiky-haired scout looks down at Han Sang-ga, who is weakly raising her hand, confirming she's in agony. Hero smirks. Internally surprised, Han Sang-ga actually followed his sarcastic instruction to raise her hand if she was in pain. The announcer, the spiky-haired scout, dramatically declares a sudden change in the tournament schedule. Lee looks annoyed, questioning why he needs a break and if this whole thing isn't over yet. The announcer hypes up a special match between Lee and an active hunter, sending shockwaves through the crowd. The two suit-wearing guys are surprised, realizing Lee Si-yoon, the 10th-ranked hunter, actually pulled strings for this special match. Hero looks at the audience's wild reactions, internally deducing his next opponent is a big deal. Lee internally muses that these sudden challenges to test his skills are just like the other world. Some things never change. A massive sword, clearly Lee Si-yoon's, dramatically slams into the ground, signaling a serious challenger. Lee Si-yoon, the 10th-ranked hunter from Janabi Guild, makes her grand entrance, introducing herself to our guy. Lee Si-yoon, with a confident smirk, tells Lee the stage has been too small for him and challenges him to a match. He internally recognizes Lee Si-yoon as the world's 10th-ranked hunter, realizing this isn't going to be another easy win. Hero observes Lee Si-yoon's powerful aura, realizing she's a true professional, and considers his current body's limitations. Lee flashes a confident smirk, ready to take on the challenge despite his internal reservations. Lee immediately accepts the challenge, surprising the spiky-haired scout with his eagerness. Lee internally notes he hasn't used much stamina and might finally get to see some real power. He looks at the injured Han Sang-ga being carried away, remembering his goal to get the best results in the tournament. Lee smirks, thinking about raising his value in this high-stakes fight. Our guy grunts, putting immense effort into clashing with Lee Si-yoon. Hero struggles against Lee Si-yoon's power, questioning how she has so much strength. The guy pushes the girl's sword with all his might. Lee is sent flying across the arena by Lee Si-yoon's powerful strike. Se-yoon observes our guy, noting his speed has dropped considerably compared to the start. Lee Hyun-seok Yuchun-seok internally rages, realizing his new body lacks the physical ability to exploit openings. Se-yoon casually asks if our guy is tired, impressed he lasted 30 minutes against her. Se-yoon declares she'll make it easy for him now, preparing to strike with her massive sword. Lee Hyun-seok internally laments his low mana reserves and the lack of ambient mana on Earth. Lee decides he has to use his Paradox Flame, despite not wanting to reveal it. He unleashes his Paradox Flame, creating an explosion that sends him flying back. Girl watches Lee fly back, seemingly unaffected by the blast. She looks surprised, questioning how our guy managed to dodge her powerful attack. Lee is engulfed in his Paradox Flame, looking intense and ready for more. Hero declares his power is the Paradox Flame, a familiar sight. He explains the Paradox Flame is his specialty from the other world, his most trusted power. Lee explains his current output can't burn high ignition concepts like self or reason. He charges forward, revealing the concept he'll burn now, ready to end this. The girl notices that he has become faster. He delivers a quick and powerful blow, but the girl blocks it with her sword. Se-yoon looks genuinely surprised, questioning how our guy recovered so quickly after her last strike. The girl blocks all the quick attacks that the hero makes. Lee Se-yoon senses strong fluctuations in mana in the air, from low to high. Lee Hyun-seok, Yuchun-seok, explains that Paradox Flame releases mana as it burns abstract concepts, just like fire releases heat. Our guy reveals his paradox flame burns his own fatigue to generate mana, creating an endless cycle of power. Lee Si-yoon continues her relentless assault. The girl delivers her powerful blow, destroying the arena. Lee Si-yoon, looking intense, asks Guy if he's seriously going to keep this fight up. Hyun-seok grins, declaring he can still keep going in this war of attrition. He smirks, asking Lee Si-yoon if she actually likes guys who don't know when to quit. Lee Si-yoon glares, emphatically stating she absolutely hates guys who don't know when to quit. No chill. Hyun-seok explains Paradox Flame leaves a residue and will disappear when everything is burned to ash. Lee Se-yoon stands over a completely gassed Hyun-seok, who somehow lasted over 4 hours. The announcer declares that the girl has won this battle, and she takes a lollipop out of her jacket. Lee Si-yoon, with a sly smile, offers our guy a lollipop and her business card for his hard work. Lee Hyun-seok looks at the business card, realizing she's a Janabi LLC Team 3 partner hunter. Lee Si-yoon, with a friendly smile, tells Guy to call her later for details. Hero bites into the lollipop, looking thoughtful after the intense match and new job offer. Lee checks his new hunter license on a smartphone, marveling at Earth's tech. He looks up as a new guy calls him Hunter Yu Chan-seok. A massive, muscular man with a smug grin tells Lee he looks better in person. Lee asks the tall man who he is, as the guy offers a business card. The muscular man introduces himself as Yoon Seong-hyun from Taebaek LLC, trying to recruit our guy. Yoon Seong-hyun, the Taebaek recruiter, confidently promises Lee Hyun-seok, Yu Chan-seok, he'll shine under his wing. Se-yoon, the 10th-ranked hunter, leans in close to Hyun-seok, offering her number with a flirty smile. Hero politely says he has a prior engagement and needs more time to decide. Yoon laughs, pretending he wasn't demanding an immediate answer. Yoon grabs Lee's shoulder, his smile dropping. Yoon leans in close, menacingly telling our guy to think properly. Taebaek recruiter walks away, telling Lee Hyun-seok, "See you around." Lee internally decides he's definitely skipping Taebaek after that aggressive recruitment. Lee Si-yoon takes a call from a hero who doesn't know where to go. Guy looks at his phone, receiving instructions from Lee Se-yoon to meet at the hut. Hyun-seok looks at the sign for the hut, a cafe, probably confused by the name. A cheerful waitress welcomes Guy to the hut, a surprisingly normal cafe. Se-yoon waves to Hyun-seok from a table, inviting him to sit. Hyun-seok walks through the cafe, asking Se-yoon if something happened, noting the cafe's unusual name. He tells Lee Se-yoon about the really huge guy who tried to recruit him. Girl explains that Yoon Seong-hyun's interest would scare off other guilds from making offers. Hyun-seok questions if that also applies to Janabi Guild, showing his sharp thinking. Lee Si-yoon clarifies she has no intention of recruiting him, casually eating her dessert. She suggests Lee Hyun-seok work as a freelancer, which completely catches our guy off guard. Lee Si-yoon explains Guy was probably going to offer Lee Hyun-seok a low-tier junior position. Lee Hyun-seok asks for clarification on junior and partner hunter roles, and Lee Si-yoon remembers his Not From the Academy cover story. Se-yoon explains the 3 ranks for guild hunters, junior, senior, and partner, laying out the hierarchy. She illustrates the guild structure, showing partner hunters leading teams of junior and senior hunters, basically salaried employees. Se-yoon explains partner hunters get shares in the guild's net profits, essentially making them business owners. Girl notes the structure sounds exactly like a law firm, and Lee Si-yoon confirms guilds were modeled after them. Lee Si-yoon explains that one doesn't necessarily have to climb the ranks to become a partner hunter. Hyun-seok deduces that if he gets famous, guilds will automatically come looking for him for partner roles. Lee Se-yoon enthusiastically agrees, offering Lee Hyun-seok another piece of candy, making our guy question her motives again. Hero realizes his lack of connections and experience will make it tough to get proper requests as a freelancer. Se-yoon confidently offers to help Lee Hyun-seok with requests, free of charge, which is suspicious. Guy looks confused, questioning why Lee Si-yoon would do so much for him without an obvious benefit. Se-yoon reveals her motive is to put Lee Hyun-seok in her debt, hoping he'll remember Janabi Guild later. Lee Si-yoon slides an envelope across the table, inviting Lee Hyun-seok to look at it, but emphasizing it's his choice. Hero asks what's in the envelope, and Se-yoon explains it's a request from Incheon City about a corrosion zone. Hyun-seok asks if he just needs to clear the rift, but girl clarifies he'll be patrolling for new ones. Guy reviews the mission details, noting the pay is pretty low for a death-defying gig. Se-yoon, with a predatory grin, tells our guy to get famous if he wants to swim in cash. Hero stares, contemplating Lee Si-yoon's blunt yet accurate assessment of the hunter world. A mysterious voice in a fancy car asks about our guy's capabilities, clearly interested in the new talent. Lee Si-yoon, chilling in the limo, confirms our boy's name and his bare-knuckle tournament victory. Lee Si-yoon's driver tries to downplay our guy, but she corrects him, emphasizing the 4-hour fight. The driver questions if Lee Si-yoon held back, and she reminds him of her decade of brutal experience. Lee Si-yoon reflects on her hellish past, admitting our guy was an unprecedented challenge, a true monster. The top-ranked hunter admits she should have easily toyed with him, but he lasted 4 hours, calling him a monster. Lee Si-yoon concludes she'd never see another monster like Yoo Chan-seok, even if reborn, which is high praise. The scene shifts to Incheon City, Gyeongdo Island, the location of our guy's next mission. People on a beach question how highly they rate Yoo Chan-seok, still underestimating the hero. A voice points out the Gyeongdo Island mission specifically requested hunters with prior mission experience. A man questions if Lee Hyun-suk's skills are enough to team up with veteran hunters, given his lack of experience. Girl states she paired him with someone reliable, and her companion trusts her judgment. She confidently states that Yoo Chan-seok will even be able to take down her boss. A delivery guy struggles with a massive, heavy package for apartment 1506, looking absolutely gassed. The delivery guy continues to haul the heavy package, already dreading the next one. Yoo Chan-seok observes his new, unbelievably long package, probably wondering what kind of weapon he just ordered. Yoo Chan-seok confidently wields his new spear, looking ready to put it to good use. Yoo Chan-seok introduces an elixir, explaining it's a crucial mana potion for hunter emergencies. Yoo Chan-seok details the standard mana absorption process, comparing it to drinking water. Yoo Chan-seok reveals his unique mana method, directly absorbing from the atmosphere without storage. Yoo Chan-seok highlights his method's advantage, limitless mana use from the air, which is pretty OP. Yoo Chan-seok explains his mana channels strengthen over time, allowing him to use even more mana. Yoo Chan-seok notes his method's drawback is slow, strong output, so he needs to store some elixir mana for quick bursts. Yoo Chan-seok trains with the elixir for a month, aiming to boost his mana capacity just as much as he needs. The scene shifts to Incheon, Gyeongdo Island, setting the stage for a new mission. An official confirms Hunter Yoo Chan-seok is assigned to Squad 8 for the upcoming mission. A tattered sign marks the meeting point for Squad 8, looking like it's seen some things. Yoo Chan-seok stands among other hunters in Squad 8, who are mostly complaining or looking tired. Yoo Chan-seok reacts to hearing his name called out, looking a bit surprised. Static Hair Girl approaches Yoo Chan-seok, commenting on his now settled hair, still rocking those gnarly scars. Static Hair Girl suggests they team up for the mission, but Yoo Chan-seok questions her motive, as he should. Static Hair Girl lays on the flattery thick, praising Yoo Chan-seok's strength, making him look away awkwardly. Yoo Chan-seok, dense as ever, asks Static Hair Girl if her shoulders dislocate often, completely missing her sarcasm. The official with glasses demands everyone's attention, getting ready to drop some mission intel. The official announces a mission briefing for Squad 8 now that everyone is finally gathered. The official mentions explaining terms for rookies, making Yoo Chan-seok wonder if he's the target, with Static Hair Girl right beside him. The official explains the corrosion rift classifications and introduces the Alpha designation for first rifts. The official reveals the Alpha Rift's location on Gyeongdo Island, warning them not to approach it as it will only get stronger. The official details the mission: patrol 2 areas to find and eliminate any new corrosion rifts. A spiky-haired hunter questions assigning an elimination mission to a squad with a rookie, clearly not thrilled. The squad arrives at Gyeongdo Island, with the beautiful scenery contrasting the upcoming danger. Yoo Chan-seok feels a chilling energy from the island, noting his blood feels cold, which is a bit dramatic for our guy. Yoo Chan-seok dismisses the others' dramatic reactions and confidently strides forward, with Static Hair Girl following close behind. The official wraps up the briefing, telling the hunters to contact the control room if needed, and wishing them good luck. An axe-wielding hunter starts planning, suggesting a week-long scout of the 2 designated areas. The axe-wielding hunter looks at the official with glasses, who is also part of the squad, for confirmation. Yoo Chan-seok, checking his phone map, proposes setting up their base at Hwagyesa Temple. Another hunter questions Yoo Chan-seok, asking if he's a rookie and why they should go to Hwagyesa Temple. Yoo Chan-seok explains his strategic choice of Hwagyesa Temple for its views and lodging, asking if it isn't obvious. The questioning hunter argues against Yoo Chan-seok's plan, worrying about getting surrounded on a mountain, while another hunter agrees. Yu Chun-seok dismisses their concerns, calling them idiots who defy logic, as Static Hair Girl silently observes. Yu Chun-seok, Static Hair Girl, and the spiky-haired hunter are seen running through the forest, heading out. Yu Chun-seok observes the spiky-haired hunter, noting his mana is slightly higher than Static Hair Girl's. Yu Chun-seok questions the spiky-haired hunter, Kim Min-jae, about why he decided to follow them. Kim Min-jae, the spiky-haired hunter, explains he was worried about two rookies, then sarcastically thanks our guy. Yu Chun-seok suddenly stops dead in his tracks, making Kim Min-jae and Static Hair Girl look surprised. Our guy shushes Kim Min-jae, telling him to peek over the side, looking serious as hell. Kim Min-jae cautiously peeks around the rock, looking like he's about to see something he doesn't want to. A whole damn horde of goblin-like corrosion creatures is spotted, just chilling in the forest. Kim Min-jae, the spiky-haired hunter, freaks out, suggesting a detour because there are at least 50 of those things. Yu Chun-seok calmly asks Kim Min-jae about his unique skill, while this dude is still panicking about fighting. Our guy presses Kim Min-jae again for his unique skill, reminding him that fighting creatures is literally their job. Kim Min-jae reveals his unique skill is Flame, and his best move is Fireball, as Static Hair Girl listens intently. Yu Chun-seok tells Kim Min-jae to attack first with a fireball on his signal, making the spiky-haired hunter look absolutely horrified. Kim Min-jae, the spiky-haired hunter, turns to Static Hair Girl, desperately asking what they should do. Kim Min-jae argues that facing 50 creatures with just 3 of them is reckless, reminding our guy it's his first mission. Yu Chun-seok shuts down the idea of calling for backup, stating the other hunters won't make it in time. Our guy explains their isolated position from Hwagyesa Temple, far from the other hunters searching the coast. Yu Chun-seok explains that waiting for help is too risky, as the creatures scattering would threaten the other hunters. Kim Min-jae, the spiky-haired hunter, reluctantly agrees with our guy's cold, hard logic, looking defeated. Kim Min-jae recalls the earlier squad conflict, realizing backup might not come even if they were nearby. Yu Chun-seok declares they must deal with the situation themselves by launching a surprise attack. Our guy quickly outlines the plan, telling Kim Min-jae to fireball the center while he handles the sides. Yu Chun-seok gives Static Hair Girl her orders, and she confirms, while Kim Min-jae internally questions our guy's insane battle experience. Kim Min-jae launches his first fireball, looking surprisingly competent now that he's actually fighting. The fireball explodes right in the middle of the goblin horde, creating a massive fiery blast. Kim Min-jae tells Yu Chun-seok he needs a moment to recharge, and our guy calmly tells him to shoot when ready. Kim Min-jae confirms his readiness, eyes glowing with mana, ready for round 2. Yu Chun-seok explains his battle philosophy of efficiency and role division as he charges into the remaining creatures. A grotesque goblin-like creature lunges forward, eyes glowing with malice, ready to strike. Yu Chun-seok explains he'll hold off the remaining creatures, protecting Kim Min-jae until his next fireball is ready. Our guy acknowledges he can't block all of them, but he's still holding his own against multiple monsters. Yu Chun-seok reiterates the importance of dividing roles for maximum efficiency in battle. Static Hair Girl unleashes her unique skill, a powerful shockwave, pushing back a group of creatures. Static Hair Girl looks genuinely surprised, probably at the sheer intensity of the fight or her own power. Kim Min-jae, surrounded by the lingering flames, announces he's ready to fire again. Yu Chun-seok tells Kim Min-jae to shoot, confirming he'll move out of the blast radius. Kim Min-jae unleashes another massive fireball, sending it straight into the remaining horde. The second fireball creates an even bigger explosion, wiping out a huge chunk of the creatures. Yu Chun-seok, with a fierce look, declares they must eliminate every single one of them. Our guy stands tall, spear in hand, surveying the fiery aftermath like a true boss. Yu Chun-seok is about to comment on a job well done when he's interrupted by a sudden, ominous sound. Kim Min-jae, the spiky-haired hunter, points a gun directly at Yu Chun-seok, revealing a shocking betrayal. Kim Min-jae, the spiky-haired hunter, awkwardly asks Yu Chun-seok to step aside, internally relieved he wasn't actually shot. Kim Min-jae explains to Yu Chun-seok and Static Hair Girl that he's microchipping the dead monsters for a junk dealer. The spiky-haired hunter clarifies that collecting monster byproducts themselves is too heavy, so they outsource to these junk dealers. Kim Min-jae illustrates how the junk dealers collect tagged items, appraise them, and split profits with the hunter. Kim Min-jae details the profit split, with the dealer taking a cut and the rest going to the hunter who tagged the corpse. Yu Chun-seok questions Kim Min-jae's trust in these dealers, and the spiky-haired hunter stresses finding a good contract. Kim Min-jae showers Yu Chan-seok with praise, amazed they handled 50 creatures, completely forgetting his earlier panic attack. A massive demonic mid-boss suddenly crashes down, sending debris flying and knocking Kim Min-jae and Yu Chan-seok to the ground. Kim Min-jae checks on Yu Chan-seok, who is on the ground after the unexpected devastating impact. Yu Chan-seok, still on the ground, asks what new hell has just arrived, with Static Hair Girl and Kim Min-jae looking on. Kim Min-jae's eyes narrow, recognizing the immense power of the newly arrived threat. Kim Min-jae identifies the new, huge monster as a mid-boss, looking absolutely terrified at its appearance. Kim Min-jae expresses his dread, realizing their situation just went from bad to, oh god, we're screwed. Kim Min-jae wonders if this monstrous creature is the leader of the previous goblin horde, as it lets out a menacing growl. Kim Min-jae notes the mid-boss's mana is on a completely different level than the small fries they just fought. Yu Chan-seok declares he will handle the mid-boss alone, warning his teammates not to interfere. Our guy explains that if the mid-boss targets all three, they won't stand a chance of escaping. Static Hair Girl and Kim Min-jae look worried, with the spiky-haired hunter suggesting a pincer attack to buy time. Yu Chan-seok shouts at them to stop talking and get back, asking if they want to end up in a body bag. Our guy explains fighting alone is better to avoid friendly fire with his paradox flame and finish it quickly. Static Hair Girl tells Kim Min-jae there's no need to intervene, noting Yu Chan-seok only looks like he's struggling. Yu Chan-seok expertly attacks the mid-boss mid-air, proving Static Hair Girl's point that he hasn't been hit once. Static Hair Girl looks intently, realizing there's more to our guy's fighting style. Yu Chan-seok dodges and attacks simultaneously, performing moves Static Hair Girl admits she'd struggle with. Static Hair Girl observes black flames appearing with each spear strike, slowing the monster, realizing this is his paradox flame. Yu Chan-seok grins, now clearly toying with the monster, a stark contrast to his initial struggle. Static Hair Girl questions if Yu Chan-seok is truly a rookie, utterly baffled by his insane power. Our guy delivers a powerful blow, sending the mid-boss reeling from the impact. Yu Chan-seok pulls back his spear, preparing for a decisive move against the monster. Yu Chan-seok dramatically hurls his spear high into the sky, setting up a big finish. The spear descends like a meteor, aiming straight for the mid-boss below. Kim Min-jae shouts a warning to Yu Chan-seok as the mid-boss lunges for a counterattack. The mid-boss's monstrous face gets dangerously close to Yu Chan-seok, but he remains unfazed. The mid-boss is slammed into the ground, defeated by Yu Chan-seok's aerial spear attack. Yu Chan-seok stands over the fallen mid-boss, surprised it could still move after his full power attack. Kim Min-jae and Static Hair Girl stare in wide-eyed shock at the defeated monster. Kim Min-jae freaks out, unable to comprehend how Yu Chan-seok took down the mid-boss so quickly. Yu Chan-seok calmly calls out to Kim Min-jae, who snaps to attention. Yu Chan-seok questions Kim Min-jae about the mid-boss's presence, as it shouldn't appear in an unclassified rift. Our guy recalls the mission briefing, realizing the Alpha Rift's unclassified status makes this mid-boss a huge anomaly. Yu Chan-seok declares the Alpha Corrosion Rift has likely escalated to Grade 3, shocking Kim Min-jae and Static Hair Girl. Static Hair Girl questions the briefing, but Yu Chan-seok logically explains the mid-boss confirms the Grade 3 status. Kim Min-jae freaks out, realizing the massive difference between an unclassified and Grade 3 rift. Kim Min-jae concludes that survival chances for other hunters are practically zero if it's Grade 3. Kim Min-jae desperately urges Yu Chan-seok to save the other hunters, suddenly believing in our guy's power. Yu Chan-seok coldly rejects Kim Min-jae's plea, stating he has limits and can't save everyone by himself. Our guy explains their mission isn't rescue, and in this line of work not everyone makes it out alive. Static Hair Girl challenges Yu Chan-seok, asking how he'd feel in the other hunter's shoes. Static Hair Girl presses on, suggesting he'd feel unfairness and resentment, implying he should feel compassion. Yu Chan-seok, with a grim expression, clarifies he understands emotions, but focuses on the inevitable outcome. Our guy's internal monologue shows a flashback of a hunter dying in flames, emphasizing unavoidable deaths. The flashback continues, showing the hunter consumed by fire, reinforcing that feelings don't change the outcome of death. Yu Chan-seok, with a chilling smile, advises them not to be swayed by desperate situations. Our guy concludes that such a mindset won't lead to survival in this brutal world. The scene shifts to Hwagyesa Temple at night, showing the building is intact and clear of corrupted beings. Yu Chan-seok and Kim Min-jae are outside the temple, with the spiky-haired hunter confirming the area is safe. Yu Chan-seok asks if Kim Min-jae can see anything, who replies it's too dark to spot anything special. Kim Min-jae points out that the other hunters' lights reveal their locations, which is good for tracking. Yoo Chan-seok internally notes that using lights is dangerous, especially if another mid-boss appears. Our guy decides to send a warning message to everyone about the potential Grade 3 rift and the danger of using lights. A flashback shows an official explaining that destroying the core of a corrosion rift makes all corrupted beings vanish. Yoo Chan-seok, in the present, realizes his mission is simple: just destroy the corrosion rift. Static Hair Girl is seen sleeping soundly, completely unaware of the impending chaos. The spiky-haired hunter, Kim Min-jae, is also catching some Z's, trusting our guy to keep watch. Yoo Chan-seok walks away, thinking his teammates can rest easy thanks to the monster alarm device. Our guy confidently strides, internally noting he knows the Alpha Rift's location and things should go smoothly. Yoo Chan-seok immediately curses himself, realizing he just pulled a classic jinx move. Yoo Chan-seok's hand glows with purple mana as he prepares for battle, asking "you again?" to an unseen threat. Our guy faces a massive purple glowing monster, a new mid-boss, noting he hasn't seen this face before. The Hunter Association Situation Room is in chaos, with an official reporting lost hunter signals and presumed deaths. The official with glasses freaks out, hearing about organized monster movements and casualties in an unclassified rift. Another official urgently orders the activation of an emergency network for reinforcements from all nearby hunters. A staff member reports someone approaching the Alpha Corrosion Rift, shocking the manager. The manager demands to know who it is, ordering them to stop the individual heading towards the Alpha Rift. The staff member reveals it's Hunter Yoo Chan-seok from Team 8, the first to identify the rift upgrade. The manager, the official with glasses, orders a connection to Yoo Chan-seok's terminal, believing he holds the answers to this unprecedented rift upgrade. The connection is made, and Yoo Chan-seok is seen fighting, screaming that the new monster is way fucking faster than he thought. Yoo Chan-seok rages at the control room, calling them crazy bastards for their poor investigation and misclassification, threatening them with a rift to the face. Yoo Chan-seok internally admits his paradox flame isn't strong enough to instantly kill this new, powerful entity. Our guy plans to whittle down the monster's health with his paradox flame, then finish it off with his spear. Yoo Chan-seok is on the ground, still struggling with the new mid-boss, realizing this beast just won't quit. Our guy internally laments his paradox flame is weaker because he drained too much mana fighting that giant bat earlier. Yoo Chan-seok, still midair, realizes he needs to find a new mana source on the island since he's stuck there. Yoo Chan-seok spots a glowing blue mana source in the forest, looking like a convenient power-up just when he needs it. Yoo Chan-seok is flying through the air, dodging the mid-boss's attacks with lightning speed, looking pretty slick. Yoo Chan-seok, still airborne, taunts the mid-boss to keep up, spear in hand, ready for more action. Our guy flashes a menacing grin, stating he has something important to check, hinting at a new strategy. An official in the Situation Room reports that Yoo Chan-seok's GPS signal has been completely lost. The official with glasses looks absolutely stunned, confirming Hunter Yoo Chan-seok has entered the Alpha Corrosion Rift. Yoo Chan-seok stands inside the Alpha Rift, noting it's surprisingly cleaner than he expected, surveying the desolate landscape. Yoo Chan-seok wonders how massive Grade 1 and 2 rifts are if this unclassified, now Grade 3-1 is already this big. Yoo Chan-seok faces the mid-boss again, declaring their relationship is over because he's not the clingy type. The mid-boss lets out a terrifying roar, its mouth wide open, showing off its sharp teeth and glowing eyes. Yoo Chan-seok grips his spear, internally revealing a major drawback of his powerful paradox flame. Yoo Chan-seok's spear crackles with black flame as he explains his paradox flame spreads to every living being except him. Our guy stands, his spear engulfed in purple mana, reiterating that his flame can even harm allies. Yoo Chan-seok's hand tightens on his spear, explaining that if his paradox flame becomes uncontrollable, it's unusable. Yoo Chan-seok expertly dodges an attack from the mid-boss, purple mana crackling around him as he moves. Yoo Chan-seok unleashes a powerful burst of purple mana from his hand, aiming it directly at the mid-boss. The mid-boss is engulfed in purple mana and black flames, roaring in agony from Yoo Chan-seok's devastating attack. Yoo Chan-seok declares that fighting alone makes his paradox flame's drawback irrelevant, because who needs friends anyway? Our guy's chest glows with blue mana, signaling that the real power-up sequence is finally kicking off. Mana surges through Yoo Chan-seok's internal pathways, looking like a supercharged circulatory system. Yu Chan-seok's internal monologue confirms the absorbed mana is strengthening his channels just as he predicted. Yu Chan-seok grins, clearly pleased with how efficiently he's juicing up, feeling himself. Yu Chan-seok looks at the mid-boss, realizing it called for backup, which is just rude. The mid-boss is now surrounded by a whole squad of flying demons, proving it's not fighting fair. Yu Chan-seok, with his spear now crackling with purple power, declares that numbers mean nothing to his newly boosted self. Our guy is enveloped in dark, swirling mana, looking like a true final boss about to drop the hammer. Yu Chan-seok, now several times stronger, questions the location of the rift's core, recalling Kim Min-jae's intel. Yu Chan-seok suddenly stops dead in his tracks, sensing something crucial, his eyes narrowed. Yu Chan-seok confronts a new masked creature, realizing it was intelligently waiting for his paradox flame to weaken. The masked creature, revealed as the rift's core, stares down Yu Chan-seok, ominously declaring his impending doom. Yu Chan-seok, spear ready, calmly calculates he can unleash a 4-hit combo at his current power level. Our guy charges forward, spear extended, initiating his attack with swift precision. Yu Chan-seok's spear slams directly into the masked creature's chest, a powerful first strike. A close-up shows the impact point on the masked creature, glowing with blue energy from the hit. Yu Chan-seok names his new move Dual Orbit Spear because every cool attack needs a cool name. Yu Chan-seok unleashes the Dual Orbit Spear, sending the masked creature flying with a powerful blue trajectory. An illustration explains the Dual Orbit Spear creates a blue trajectory that perfectly mimics and repeats the first strike 4 times. Yu Chan-seok's internal monologue explains his Dual Orbit Spear attacks with the trajectory. Our guy's internal monologue details the simple technique that repeats 4 consecutive strikes. Yu Chan-seok's internal monologue reveals the blue trajectory attacks a beat later, adding a layer of trickery. The masked creature gets slammed by the delayed blue trajectory, completing a tricky 2-part spear round. The masked creature is caught in a pincer attack unfolding with a time lag, looking completely overwhelmed. Yu Chan-seok's blue trajectory attack hits the masked creature again, forcing it to make a mistake. Yu Chan-seok confidently declares the fight is over, looking like he just finished a warm-up. Our guy unleashes a flurry of blue mana attacks, absolutely obliterating the masked creature. The masked creature is bombarded by multiple blue mana projectiles, getting completely wiped out. The masked creature dissipates into blue energy, surprising Yu Chan-seok, who thought it would just vanish. Yu Chan-seok looks at a glowing blue box left behind by the defeated core, wondering what it is. A close-up shows Yu Chan-seok holding the mysterious purple box, a new loot drop. Our guy looks utterly surprised, probably at the unexpected treasure or the sudden end to the chaos. The Hunter Association Situation Room is in chaos, with an official reporting lost hunter signals and a spreading corrupted zone. Another official reports reinforcement hunters are encountering monsters, and landing on the island is difficult due to interference. The manager looks distraught, realizing he might have to watch all the hunters get wiped out. An official shouts to the manager, reporting a message from Yu Chan-seok, who entered the Alpha Rift. The official puts Yu Chan-seok's message on the main screen for everyone to see. The message from Yu Chan-seok confirms the Alpha Corrosion Rift has been taken care of, and all creatures are annihilated. The official with glasses looks absolutely stunned, calling it a miracle, while Yu Chan-seok relaxes, enjoying the nice air. The remaining monsters in the rift are getting obliterated by blue energy, vanishing into thin air. Static Hair Girl is still fighting, looking absolutely exhausted and overwhelmed by the sheer number of creatures. Static Hair Girl internally laments the endless monsters and realizes Yu Chan-seok is nowhere to be found. Kim Min-jae, the spiky-haired hunter, calls out to Static Hair Girl, clearly worried about their dire situation. Static Hair Girl and Kim Min-jae are completely surrounded by the monster horde, looking like they're about to be overrun. Static Hair Girl internally notes Kim Min-jae is at his breaking point, and she's not far behind him. Static Hair Girl is visibly injured, with a nasty gash on her leg, showing the toll of the relentless fight. A grotesque monster lunges directly at Static Hair Girl, ready to deliver a finishing blow. Static Hair Girl is on the ground, looking up in despair as the monster closes in. Static Hair Girl's legs give out, confirming she's completely spent and can no longer stand. Kim Min-jae screams Static Hair Girl's name, desperately trying to reach her as she's about to be attacked. The monster is inches away from Static Hair Girl, its jaws wide open for the kill. Suddenly, all the monsters vanish into black smoke, leaving Kim Min-jae and Static Hair Girl utterly bewildered. The scene shifts to the Hunter Assembly Point, now a chaotic field hospital with many injured. Yu Chan-seok strolls through the camp, casually observing the injured hunters and the monster rampage he missed. The official with glasses and another hunter are completely stunned to see Yu Chan-seok alive and well. The official with glasses questions if our guy actually took down a grade 3 rift by himself, utterly baffled. Kim Min-jae and Static Hair Girl spot Yu Chan-seok and rush towards him, relieved he's back. Kim Min-jae tells Yu Chan-seok he was shocked by his message and can't believe he tackled the rift alone. Yu Chan-seok gives a cheesy explanation about his heart moving him, while internally admitting he's just managing his image like a true politician. Yu Chan-seok sits with a bandaged Kim Min-jae and Static Hair Girl, regretting not leaving before sundown as someone calls his name. Byun Jung-tae, a manager from the Korea Operating Corporation, introduces himself, looking all business. Yu Chan-seok acknowledges the manager who summoned him, who then asks for a moment of his time. The manager informs our guy that the mayor wants a word, pointing towards a fancy government building. Yu Chan-seok internally grumbles about old folks ordering him around and plans to negotiate a bonus for clearing the grade 3 rift. Another official greets Yu Chan-seok, who stands under an umbrella in the pouring rain. The official introduces himself as Lee Pil-jae, the communications and liaison officer, with a smile that's just a little too wide. Lee Pil-jae tells Yu Chan-seok the mayor was eagerly awaiting him as they walk through a sleek building. Lee Pil-jae explains the mayor canceled his morning, but Yu Chan-seok, ever humble, downplays his heroic actions. Lee Pil-jae gushes about a rookie clearing a grade 3 rift, comparing our guy to the great pioneer, which Yu Chan-seok admits was tough. Yu Chan-seok internally wonders if the pioneer was the real monster, as Lee Pil-jae announces his arrival to the mayor. Incheon Mayor Park from behind his desk thanks Yu Chan-seok for making the trip. Mayor Park Gaeon introduces himself, apologizing for the bad weather with a forced laugh. Mayor Park invites Yu Chan-seok to sit and orders Officer Lee Pil-jae to fetch some coffee. 2 cups of coffee and a box of snacks are served, ready for the important meeting. Mayor Park praises Yu Chan-seok for his service, relieved the costly Gyeongdong-do Island problem was solved cheaply. Mayor Park notes this was Yu Chan-seok's first commission, and our guy confirms it while sipping his coffee. Mayor Park gets overly enthusiastic, declaring his pride that such an incredible hunter started in Incheon. Yu Chan-seok looks confused as Mayor Park suddenly launches into a patriotic speech about Korea and Incheon. Mayor Park continues his city promotion, hyping up Incheon Airport, economic zones, and international investment. Mayor Park Ji-yeon continues his enthusiastic political speech, hyping up Incheon's international cities and airport. Yu Chan-seok sips his coffee, listening as Mayor Park promises to smooth out his path as a hunter. Lee Pil-jae, the communications officer, asks Yu Chan-seok about his true purpose for being a hunter. Yu Chan-seok, ever the poet, describes his hunter purpose as diving into shit water to unclog a toilet. Lee Pil-jae acknowledges our guy's answer, then starts talking about the fame and commercial opportunities for skilled hunters. Yu Chan-seok internally notes Lee Pil-jae's worry about him changing due to fame, as Lee Pil-jae warns against losing sight of duty. Lee Pil-jae continues his monologue about Korea being the last sanctuary, but warns against being swayed by money. Lee Pil-jae praises Yu Chan-seok's incredible accomplishment, stating many people will be watching him with interest. Lee Pil-jae looks intently at our guy, expressing hope that he will continue to be a symbol of hope. Yu Chan-seok internally observes Lee Pil-jae's blatant attempt to sway him, but states he's not the type to be influenced. Yu Chan-seok's internal monologue shows a flashback of his past, emphasizing his long life and countless hardships. Yu Chan-seok, back in Mayor Park's office, questions the mayor about what he has to do in return for all this support. Yu Chan-seok directly asks if Mayor Park wants help getting re-elected, catching the mayor off guard. Mayor Park, looking surprised, acknowledges Yu Chan-seok is well informed, while our guy casually mentions finding info on his phone. Yu Chan-seok reveals he knows Mayor Park's term ends early next year and re-election looks difficult. Mayor Park, looking a bit flustered, reminds Yu Chan-seok that he needed City Hall approval for his mission. Yu Chan-seok internally connects the dots, realizing Mayor Park wants to ride his coattails and brand him as an Incheon talent. Mayor Park, looking smug, explains his connections with overseas and domestic companies thanks to Incheon's infrastructure. Mayor Park points to a coffee mix brand, suggesting Yu Chan-seok could replace their current model for endorsements. Yu Chan-seok's hand reaches for his coffee cup, interrupting Mayor Park's sales pitch. Yu Chan-seok tells Mayor Park he feels cheap, clearly not impressed by the mayor's offers. Mayor Park looks startled, then rambles about needing a new face to change the world's dreary atmosphere. Yoo Chan-seok internally thinks about his talent as a hunter and what it means for his future. Our guy tells Mayor Park that all the benefits he mentioned are his rightful share anyway, no strings attached. Mayor Park, looking desperate, offers safe, high-paying commissions, but Yoo Chan-seok dismisses it as uninteresting. The scene shifts to a shadowy hooded figure, and Lee Pil-jae, the communications officer, kneeling in the rain, confirming the failure. The hooded figure states the Gyeodongdu Island test failed. Lee Pil-jae says it's fine, but has some good news for the hooded figure. The hood asks what it is. Lee Pil-jae reveals a clip from Yoo Chan-seok's hunter exam video. Hoodie smiles while watching the video and says that the hero is wonderful.